Wow, we have lots of Tesla stock breaking news today. I almost don't even know where to start. Perhaps we should start with the fact that Ford just paid $250,000 for a Cybertruck in the aftermarket, and they are testing it at their facility near Detroit. Look at that. Tesla Economics posted this collage of all of your influential or famous individuals per se that now own a Cybertruck. Kim Kardashian, Jay-Z and Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Pharrell Williams, Jay Leno, Serena Williams, Shai Gilgeous Alexander, Justin Bieber, right? And the list is probably even much larger. And Elon Musk responded and provided a little bit of clarity that I think you should know. He says, while they clearly have great taste, important to note that no one receives a discount, including me, and no one is paid to promote our products. We have seen countless famous people post about the Cybertruck. Most notably, Kim Kardashian has posted it a couple times on her Instagram account, and each post, if you want to pay Kim Kardashian to post, can be $2 million or so. So I think the Cybertruck, after all, is working by design. It's so polarizing. You're getting individuals with large following bases talking about the Cybertruck, which indeed I think was by design and should kickstart that halo effect. In fact, it looks like the halo effect may actually be getting some steam here, as you can now see what I call organic search trend activity for the Cybertruck is really picking up. Why I say this is organic search trend activity, maybe from individuals that are not Tesla investors or Tesla enthusiasts, because if you are either one of those things, a Tesla investor or a Tesla enthusiast, you already know all there is to know about the Cybertruck. It's not like we're getting new news or new information, but you are seeing these individuals talking about the Cybertruck. More people are seeing the Cybertruck, and you're now experiencing a large ramp up in search trend activity for the Cybertruck. See, this little spike here, this little spike here, and this big spike when the Cybertruck actually launched, a lot of this was likely investors in Tesla. The average folk had no knowledge about the Cybertruck. Even Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, like a month before this event back in October, he had no idea about the Cybertruck. Well, now you've seen this bottom out at about 16 on Google Trends, and you've risen all the way to 37 as far as right now, and this still has partial data. So you are definitely starting to see momentum growing for the Cybertruck. And Tesla is getting all of this promotion for free. On that note, we have 15 Cybertrucks waiting to be delivered to customers at Houston, Texas Tesla showroom. Sawyer Merritt makes a good point on X as well. He said, by opening up the Supercharger network, EV owners will now get a taste of the Tesla ownership experience and how easy and reliable superchargers are to use. It brings non-Tesla EV owners closer to Tesla vehicles. This is a very good point. Perhaps they'll have a chat with a Tesla owner while charging, or maybe a Tesla owner will show the Mach-E owner their new Model Y. Perhaps it will even help sell a Tesla in the future. Tesla is selling $13 a month Supercharger membership packages for non-Tesla EV owners. There are two plans: pay per use, pay as you go with access to the Supercharger network, and memberships for $12.99 a month in the US, providing access to the Supercharger network with a lower price per kilowatt hour. Long term, giving access to this network to non-Tesla EVs will generate billions for Tesla. It pushes Tesla's mission forward. Overall, it's a win for everyone. This perhaps could be one reason why Tesla stock is doing so well today, but more on that later. EV startup Fisker warns it may run out of money in the next 12 months. They also said they won't spend on future vehicles like the Alaska pickup without striking a partnership with another automaker. Their net loss widened in Q4 to $463 million from $170 million a year ago. What's actually crazy about that loss is that is over double the current market cap value of the entire company of Fisker. So in the last 2 months, they've lost more money by 2 times. as the entire company is worth. That is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. Tesla said today, we are rapidly deploying our latest V4 Supercharger post, which reaches all EVs in the same Supercharger stall. Additionally, we encourage all vehicle manufacturers to standardize charge port locations to the rear driver's side or front passenger side. Matt Rimek, CEO of Rimek and Bugatti, said this about Tesla's new Roadster and the fact it will be able to hit 0 to 60 in under 1 second. He said, quote, "It is possible with thrusters. We did the simulation. Problem is, you release the air in 2 to 3 seconds and then you have a lot of dead weight that you are carrying around. Tanks, compressor, valves, nozzles, etc." Rimek continues, same with the fans. They just give you more grip, but you need something like 30,000 Newton meters on the wheels to accelerate below 1 second, 0 to 60, which means you need massive motors, inverters, gearboxes, drive shafts, etc. Rimek also notes that the car has to be, quote, super light. So thrusters are really the only way to go, he says, but they bring a lot of downsides as well. Which does bring up the question if it will affect range or how big the battery would have to be to compensate. Overall, I think Tesla, if there's anyone that will figure it out, it will be Tesla. And apparently 0 to 60 in less than 1 second is the least notable thing about this vehicle, as what Elon Musk said 2 days ago. We may indeed have a partial flying car on our hands with a new Tesla Roadster. At least that's what Elon hinted towards. Tesla says they will indeed honor people that place their deliveries in Q1 that will not get their actual vehicle until Q2 for the FSD transfer. So even if you placed your order yesterday, but you have not gotten your vehicle yet, you will still be able to transfer FSD. Tesla has also indeed followed through in raising the price of the Model Y rear-wheel drive and long-range prices by $1,000 in the US today. Tesla, for the first time ever, recently did a temporary price cut on the Model Y to get rid of some of their inventory and to really sell more vehicles. It was a $1,000 discount, not a big deal, but Tesla made it a point to be a temporary discount, that prices would go up again on March 1st. Lo and behold, it's March 1st and prices just went up again. I think this adds a little bit more to Tesla's credibility and could be another reason why the stock is trading higher today. Now listen to this. This could be infamous, famous last words. Give it some time. Toyota's CEO says it's better to buy credits than waste money on EV investments. I mean, ultimately, we don't know what the future holds, but it's pretty clear the future is moving towards EV vehicles. And yeah, I could see this being an infamous last quote. And it seems like Giga Berlin neighbors are taking this strike, if you will, to the extreme. 80 environmental activists are building tree houses and living in them to try and stop Tesla from expanding the Giga Berlin factory. The activists worry about effects on the area's water supply, yet Giga Berlin is the most water efficient auto factory. I mean, that is some serious dedication if you are building tree houses and living in them just so Tesla cannot expand their factory. I can't say I've seen anything that extreme in a long time. Tesla did unveil new incentives in China on Friday. Customers picking up existing inventories of Model 3 sedans and Model Y SUVs by the end of March would be entitled to a maximum of 34,600 won, about $4,800 worth of incentives. We are getting some images of the Model 3 Performance, nicknamed Ludicrous, and some camouflage here on the back. Now, what it looks like is this spoiler is quite a bit larger than the other variants that we have seen of the Model 3. You can also weirdly see an EU sticker in the window. Not exactly sure what that means, if this was actually spotted in Europe or not. Now we have a new Giga Berlin fly-through. Tesla posted this video today calling it 2.0, and you have to watch this. Tesla is seriously a robotics company. That is impressive. Just the sheer amount of machines that you see doing all of this work, and the reason why Tesla ultimately got to the scale that they did get to. Tesla China has launched extended warranty insurance. Applicable vehicles are all Tesla vehicles sold in China. Prices are set for each mileage, and subscription is optional. Tesla has now launched in China, following the US, Canada, and South Korea. And here you can see Giga Shanghai on March 1st, 2024. The Southport terminal just packed to the brim with Teslas ready for export. And here you can see a lot of black and red Teslas, in which those are actually a premium Tesla. You can see a lot of white as well, but the black and specifically red are higher priced vehicles. Just overall, they're gonna cost you $1,000 to $2,500 more to get that paint color, and you can see quite a few of them here. So we'll see what happens to the average selling price, but nonetheless, I mean, Shanghai is cranking. Gary Black says, in his opinion, Tesla investors are underestimating Tesla Cybertruck as the new, quote, it vehicle with the celebrity crowd. Not everyone can get a Cybertruck. Many will buy a Model S, a Model X, etc. Portugal reported 1,155 Tesla sales and 6.4% market share for February, and this was the best February ever. Ireland reported 347 Tesla sales and 2.1% market share for February, again, the best February ever. Switzerland reported 1,003 Tesla sales and 5.5% market share for February, and you guessed it, this was again the best February ever in Switzerland. Sweden reported 1,058 Tesla sales and 5.6% market share for February, and sounds redundant, but it's true. It was again the best February ever. Bulgaria reported 47 Tesla sales for February. This was the second best month ever. No, actually, this was the best month ever and 12% higher than last month, which was now the second best month ever. Norway reported 1,778 Tesla sales and 24.1% market share for February. This was, again, the best February ever. The Czech Republic reported 88 Tesla sales and 0.5% market share for February. This was the second best February ever. Finland reported 238 Tesla sales and 4.5% market share for February, and again, the second best February ever. Spain reported 1,023 Tesla sales and 1.2% market share for February, and this was the best February ever. Italy reported 1,851 Tesla sales and 1.3% market share for February, and you guessed it, it was again the best February ever. I mean, it sounds pretty clear to me. If this quarter is not an all-time record, another one, it's going to be pretty dang close. Tesla has recently picked up their advertising efforts yet again, now running about 3,000 different ads with Google. Google Trends data continues to show an acceleration for basically the entire Tesla lineup. The Model Y is kind of stagnant here, going from 34 to 34, so not moving. The Model 3 going from 36 to 37, the Cybertruck going from 28 to 33, and the Model X staying at about 10, which is elevated for the Model X itself. Global inventory numbers are shooting up for the Model Y. That's pretty typical, it's pretty common. We've seen that for a while. Model Y inventory numbers have been higher. The Model X continues to fall. The Model S is really falling, and the Model 3 is even trending down lower, suggesting really good demand, at least for the Model X, Model X, Model X, Model S, and Model 3. The Model Y, I presume, has really good demand. Just inventory numbers are higher, so that means maybe there's more production of the Model Y. We did get good news across the board today. That is sending 10-year Treasury yields down about 6.5 basis points, which is another reason that is kind of helping Tesla stock today, helping some of your interest rate sensitive areas of the markets. You also got ISM manufacturing PMI that came in at 47.8. Last month was 49.1. The estimate was 49.5. So you were actually expecting manufacturing PMIs to get better from last month. They actually got worse than last month. So a big miss there. And as you know, in this market, bad economic data is good news. I wouldn't say that's overall good news. Eventually, this bad economic data will come back to haunt the markets. But for right now, it's seen as good news. ISM manufacturing employment came in at 45.9. The estimate was 47.5. Again, all of your estimates had ISM manufacturing PMIs getting better month over month. And all of these numbers came in worse than last month, like literally all of them. So that was a miss there for employment. Construction spending was estimated at 0.2% month over month, positive. You actually came in at negative 0.2%. Again, bad economic data. Good news for the markets. ISM manufacturing new orders came in with a big miss at 49.2. Last month was 52.5, and the estimate was 52.6. So again, you expected that to get better, and it got substantially worse. You're actually in contraction if you go under 50. So now you're in contraction for new orders. ISM manufacturing prices, this is a very important one, came in at 52.5. Last month was 52.9, so that's worse than last month. The estimate was 53. So again, expecting numbers to go higher, and they sharply went lower. You also had Fed speakers, Fed Logan, Fed Waller, Fed Bostic today, and they were more on the dovish side. Even the hawkish comments that they did say, markets really are not paying attention to anything negative the Fed has to say right now. Markets are more focused on the fact that interest rate cuts are coming, not how many are we going to get or when do they start, but the next move is a cut from the Fed. Tesla over on StockTwits has a neutral sentiment at 53. That's actually better than yesterday at 48. Message volume is a little bit lower than yesterday's number of 54. Now it's at 52, still categorized as normal, and 52 out of 100. Pretty normal numbers there. Participation ratio is creeping down a little bit to 54 today, but keep in mind it's Friday and a lot of people just clog out on Fridays. They take the extended weekend away from the market. So this is not that uncommon to see a little bit less activity in Tesla stock or really any other stock on a Friday. Option activity from hedge funds and institutions today. You have seen 362 orders totaling $110.14 million with a positive order value of 79%. So very positive today. If you take a look at the volume, 64.37% of the volume is calls and 35.63% of the volume is puts. Tesla currently has 3.2% short interest of free float with $17.9 billion currently in short positions. You are seeing a cost to borrow max down here at about 8.75%. The higher the cost to borrow fees, the more demand you're presumably seeing to take on short positions in Tesla. So there's quite a bit of shorting activity taking place today. Tesla stock is currently up 0.75%. You're still in this ascending channel. That is very good news. You bounced off of this line today, so that looks good. And it seems like inevitably you're going to break out above the gap to fill at about 207, between 207 and 210. That's going to give you some upside momentum, in my personal opinion. That 50-day moving average is currently at $212.58 per share. That is continuing to creep lower, and that will be a major level of resistance. We'll see when we get the delivery numbers for Tesla. I think there's quite a bit of upside that could come from that based on some of these registration numbers we're seeing out of Europe, the images that we are seeing out of China, and presumably the demand that we're seeing for the Model 3 in the US is very strong. So I think there's good news ahead for Tesla. And indeed, today, Tesla stock just being above $200 per share is a very big deal, because if you take a look at the options chain, there is 57,000 contracts held in people's brokerage accounts for that $200 call expiring today. I mean, anything can happen here in the next half an hour of trading or so, and even in after hours, but it looks pretty clear Tesla's going to close above $200 per share. That's 5.7 million shares of Tesla that need to be bought by the market makers that likely get assigned into people's brokerage accounts. So that's great news. That's really good news. That means 200 could start to be a level of support. You also have 18,000 for open interest at the 202.50 call, which that's about 1.8 million shares that need to be bought by market makers and ultimately exercised into people's brokerage accounts. If we can get above 205 even in after hours, that would be really great news, because you have another 40,000 for open interest at the 205 call that expires today. But overall, Tesla just being above $200 per share is a big win for this week. Now, if you take a look at the RSI is pretty neutral still at 53.66. So there's definitely a lot of room to run to the upside here. And the MACD is almost positive. When the MACD does go positive, that could lead to a larger rally. That's typically what you see in times in the past. If you actually go positive on the MACD from being negative, you can get quite an aggressive rally. That is going to go ahead and do it for this video. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you guys want to come trade with us. Every time I make a trade, I send out alerts. Check out that link down below in the description of this video. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day and your weekends, and I will see you in the next one.